Hello, my loves. Ooh, I'm turning this light down. You know that I've got to adjust the lighting when I get on. There we go. It's always so bright. Hello, hello. My name is Allison, and I go live every single week. I offer a channeling for this group that's gathering with me. For one of you, I choose one of your questions, and I also offer guidance for the collective during these. So if you are here, please say hello in the chat. I'm going to keep adjusting my lighting. I just can't help it. Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Hi, Courtney and the beautiful creators. I love it. I love how you all just love each other and connect with each other. And also, if you are not watching the live, but if you're here for the replay, um, leave a comment when you watch this. Leave a comment and let me know what you gained from this. What was it that really stood out to you? Hi, Kennedy. What was it that stood out to you during this channeling? And what did you receive? And I'd love to hear from all of you as people are coming on. I'm so efficient today. I'm like right on it. Hi, Stacy. Oh, um, did you all notice the solar flares last week? Did anybody get launched off the planet? Because I feel like I did, but I know that I'm very sensitive. Um, yeah, I was telling someone I actually was driving at one point and I had a dizzy spell, which to me, I only get dizzy spells during solar flares. That's just something that, or at times when I'm channeling really high frequency information, but yeah, it was really powerful for me. So type in the chat, say hello, and let me know if you noticed any solar flare activity in your personal world experience. Um, and of course, I'm going to get myself all comfortable here, sitting crisscross applesauce. My chakras are out of alignment and my sleep cycles are whack. I love this community. Whack is a totally legit term. It was definitely a rough week, but I don't know how much had to do with the solar flares. They usually do affect me, though. Yeah. I tend to be very affected by um, the solar flares. And what I've received about the solar flares is that it is literal light codes coming to the planet to activate us, right? So I love that. I think of it as like this little, like the sun has a wand, a magic wand, and is going zap, 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 right? Sending out these beams of love, which activate our light body, activate the rainbow body aspect of ourselves. So to me, it's really powerful. But even I was so surprised with how much it affected me. I slept 12 hours one night. I was like, boom, I'm out after those dizzy spells. So, okay, my loves, I'm going to go ahead and offer the announcements. If you are here for the first time, I want to just share with you the way that this works is I choose one person's question from the chat to channel on in addition to the channeling for the collective. So if you have a question that you would like me to channel on, go ahead and type it in now. Type Q at the beginning of it so that I know that it's a question specifically and not just part of the chat, because sometimes the chat can really get going. And go ahead and type it in now, and I'll just see how many we get in there, and I'll choose from one of those. All right, after announcements. I keep getting redirected when I tried channeling, so maybe that was the solar flares and not just me being unable to connect. Yeah, it can cause a lot of, it can cause anxiety. I mean, it really depends. I feel like it's so different for everyone. And maybe that's something that I will check in check in with when I channel today, but it really is a different experience for everyone. And, some people feel the after effects, and some people feel it during, some people experience a lot of energy, some people get really tired. And sometimes it's different every single time, right? So, all right, beautiful. I see the questions coming in. I already read this one. If you are here after, if you're watching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know what resonated with you, what you gained, what really came into um, your heart with this. Okay, those of you who are part of my private membership community, it's called the True Creator Community. And higher octane, I love it. I love that. Those of you who are part of that community, you know that we have a channeling once a month where I go, it's kind of like a Zoom call, it's a live video call, and I channel for the members of the group. And each month we have a different topic. Okay, so the topic for February, I can't help it, you all. I really love Valentine's Day. So I know it's like a made up holiday and it's based on atrocities or whatever, but call me a hopeless romantic. I will fully own that. So the topic for February for our monthly channeling is love and relationships. And that is going to be on February 8th. So if you would like to be part of that membership space, the link is in the comments. And when you join, you get access to all of the previous channelings. And also, I'm starting a really cool thing where there's going to be a second tier of this membership space, and we are going to start channeling practice again. So, those of you who have taken the Learn to Channel course, you can be part of these monthly channeling practices. And you can also thank Stacy for texting me continuously. Are we going to have channeling practice? So yes, it's starting again. I just had to make sure that I had the bandwidth. It's very important for me to stay in alignment, make sure that I can show up for the collective. And then from that place, being able to show up for the collective, I can really show up kind of on a more narrowed focus. And my calling has really been coming through to show up more for the collective, which leads me to another announcement. My book tour is actually being planned this year. It's really fascinating how it all works out. I had a lot planned for last year. It kind of got taken out of my experience. A lot of things did. How many of you had the experience last year of just a clearinghouse? That was me. But it's so fascinating how it's coming back exactly as I planned last year. So last year I planned the trajectory, the timeline, everything, and it's very spontaneously, without me doing much, showing up again exactly as I planned. The whole trajectory, the timeline, everything is just a year later. It's really wild. So that is being planned. Those of you who have really cool event centers in your city, please send me an invite. Tell me where it is, and I will come visit you if I can. All right. So I'm going to be planning channeling circles all over the US. At this point, it's just in the US. That's the plan. We'll see. I'll let it all unfold. Okay. But anyway, to circle all the way back, the February channeling circle is on February 8th. The topic is love and relationships. We are really entering collectively a very new paradigm of relating, of romantic relating, friendship relating. We are deeply moving into our sovereignty. And so everything looks very, very different. So there's a lot to dive into with this channeling, and I'm really excited to go into it. Yes, Boise, Idaho, and Twin Falls. I will do both. Those were actually both already points on my trajectory last year. It's really funny. So, Courtney, yes. Um, anyway, yes, Love and Relationships Channeling in the True Creator Community, February 8th. Link is below. And have you taken the quiz? I created a quiz. It is called, yeah, you can see me twice. Maybe you can ride along with me from city to city, Courtney. I'd love that. So if you have not taken the quiz, I created a quiz. It's called What Kind of Channel Are You? The link is in the description box. I also love to hear your feedback. So if you take the quiz, leave a comment and let me know what kind of channel you are. That's always fun for me. All right. And the final announcement, if for whatever reason your question doesn't get answered today, I do offer private sessions. You can either sign up for a voice memo channeling, so it's a single question, or you can do a full session. That's a live video call. And the links for those are in the description box. Okay, so let's see how many questions we have since I've been blah, 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 blah. I don't have my cacao today. I already drank it. All right, I have 1, 2, 3 questions. It is a fun quiz. Thank you, Kennedy. I know you said that you took it like 3 times or something like that. I love it. All right, so 3 questions. It looks like it's 12:12 my time. It's a magical time for me to choose from these questions. I'm going to try and be a little more organized with these live streams. So from now on, you can kind of count on right when you join, go ahead and start typing your questions in the chat. And then I will choose the question after announcements, which take however long they take. Okay. So that's how it's going to go. Between 1 and 3, it is question number 2, which looks like higher octane. All right. Is there a wave in this collective stepping into their dharma, merging with the higher self? I can absolutely tell you yes. Yes. And it's so beautiful, but let's dive into that. Oh, my loves. These are always so fun for me. Thank you for that question. And I'm going to go ahead and read the other 2 just to see, put it into my consciousness in case any information comes through. My dreams have been of food and color. Are those related to activations or alignment for my chakras? That's cool. What is the most important thing for me to focus on right now to come into alignment? Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to focus on, is there a wave in the collective stepping into their dharma, merging with their higher self? And as you know, if you've joined me here before, my eyes will be closed during this, but you are absolutely welcome to continue to comment in the comment section, and I will go through and read them after I open my eyes. And those of you who are old school here, you've been joining me for a minute. If somebody new joins, please feel free to welcome them since I won't be able to. All right, my loves. And if you're new here, a lot of times my light language comes through, which includes body movements, hand movements. So just be aware. Hura anamakashita. Oh, manahita. Guru anama. Hishonomo okotoro namo ayana. Oh my God, such beautiful activations. I'm so grateful for that light language. So grateful for this channeling ability, this ability to connect. I'm so, so, so grateful. Collectively, we're stepping into higher frequencies of all of existence. Everything is going to look different because the truth is that the only thing that keeps our reality static is the parameters that we have placed on ourselves and the parameters that we've been taught. So everything is more full of color. Everything is of that higher frequency texture and vibration, which is going to change the entire playing field because we could not see on this playing field before. We couldn't perceive on this playing field. There's always been this gentle, I'm getting Master Jesus really coming through. There's always been this gentle guidance. Think about how our understanding of Jesus is really going to change and has changed for so many as we step into these higher and higher frequencies. And also the fight against that change, right? Because to let go of the parameters that we've previously known is uncomfortable. It feels very threatening to the what we call the ego, right? The dense ego. We'll call it the dense ego at this point because there is the higher ego, as there is the higher all aspects of the self. We no longer disregard the truth of who we are. We no longer disregard any aspect of the self. Instead, it transmutes and transforms. And really, what that means is it becomes expanded and more color comes in. So, looking specifically at this question on Dharma, the fullness of the creator self is coming online for all beings. For all beings, of course, this is a choice. But the image that I get is it's sort of like the ocean. At a certain point, we can't resist. We either die trying to resist or we learn how to flow with the currents, right? The ocean, um, is bountiful and also sometimes we call it merciless. That delineation we can call the lower ego, which then transmutes into the fullness of the higher ego. The ego becomes the aspect, the it becomes the denser part of the template. The part of the template that says, this is the human that you were born to be. This is the way that you will look, the way that you will feel and act and interpret things based on your lens. That's the higher ego. And it becomes clarified, it becomes very clear. But of course, the lower ego says, oh, we must resist this because it threatens the parameters that we've put in place. And that, of course, can either continue to resist and find ego death after ego death, or it can surrender to the process of transmutation. The surrendering part, there's so many questions around surrendering. How do we surrender? We can't know how. That's the game. So we let it go, we surrender into the fullness. Oh, and it's so beautiful that the ocean is the example because there is that phrase, a single drop is the ocean. Within a single drop is the full ocean. And we are stepping into oneness consciousness. This is a really good way for us to understand oneness consciousness because we are the ocean living as a single drop with that one beautiful perspective. When I travel into the realms of the void, becoming conscious within the void, what I see is that each of us as creator beings, let me just adjust myself here. Each of us as creator beings, it looks like a water droplet floating in the void. It's very beautiful. And then we draw light and it projects itself through this beautiful lens in color, in a myriad of colors. So this is just such a beautiful, powerful example that's coming through. We are a single drop within the ocean. Fulfilling our dharma is to really, truly step into that expansion of the fullness of who we are and who we can be. It's not, let's take a little bit of the staticness that has come around this term. It is not, hmm, again, moving into the frequencies of life purpose. A lot of people start to feel it's a single task, it's a single way of being. That's what we're letting go of. Remember that it's a frequency, that we're here to shine through our template, and that shining, that infinite light through our template is what determines how that shows up. Now our hearts are being ignited, so we are in the greatest desire to show up less in the service of our dense ego, the feelings of safety. This is what's going away. We don't feel the need to be safe anymore. A lot of us right now are dissolving those paradigms of safety, which is how we're moving into sovereignty and interconnection, the purity of interconnection, right? So these are the things that are coming online. So we are no longer in this effort of, I've got to serve my purpose in order to be good and right and pure and perfect. That all goes away. And we come into the knowing that we're here to serve, period. And how do we serve? We allow ourselves to be the fullness of our creator truths, our creator selves. And this is a myriad of different expressions, even within one being. So many expressions, but it comes from the fullness of our heart shining through. Our heart then becomes this beacon of light with all of these colors, and we shine this through. And in every moment, we are our highest selves. In every moment, we are in presence. And in presence, the fullness of who we are can shine through. It's so colorful. The beauty of being in the fullness of who we are is that there's such a pure interplay for all of us. There is no conflict because there's no conflict within the self. We're not resisting anything within the self. We are the purity of the fullness of who we are. So there's no conflict external either. There are so many beautiful ways that we can describe this. And in reality, all of the prophecies are being fulfilled. All of the prophecies are being fulfilled. The time is now. Yeah. I don't do much studying. It's so interesting. On a personal note, over the past couple weeks, it's the very first time in my life that I've been ignited to go to India. And I feel it so strongly. I don't go anywhere unless I'm deeply ignited to go there. And the calling to go to India has been ignited. And so many of the teachings from that region are really being ignited, even this question being asked. But just so that you all know, I don't do research. I listen for myself. And I have heard a lot about Kali Yuga, but this isn't something that on a personal note I understand, but I'm hearing a big yes. All of the prophecies, heaven on earth, the return of light, all of these things, the return to the Garden of Eden. It's a big yes. Guess why? Because everything is expanding to include the highest frequency of all of it. The highest frequency of all of it. Now, there have been many interpretations around the falling apart, around the second coming of Christ, and how this can mean destruction, and all of these teachings. They're all true. And yet the lens that we've been interpreting it through is full of destruction, because that was our lens. That was what we perceived. That was our focus. We are now being taught that the fullness of all of these prophecies are coming true. And what's happening is we're seeing that it's not all about the destruction, that the destruction is sort of a blip, because where our focus is on this beautiful receiving of the light. And we hear the singing of all of the frequencies coming together in harmony. And we no longer focus on the destructive aspects of this. It is not fire and brimstone in the second coming of Christ. We are embodying the second coming of Christ. All of these prophecies of the new age are true. And where are we placing our focus? Because, of course, destruction happens. This is the fertile soil of the earth. This is how that works. But those of you who are listening to my voice, you are not here to pay attention to the destruction. You are not here to create fail safes. You are not here to continue the rhetoric of destruction and falling apart and you got served and calling in your karma on the negative sense and all of these things. We're not here for that. You are not here for that, my loves. You are here to shine your light and to show everyone that yes, the prophecies are being fulfilled and it's beautiful and it's okay. In fact, it's paradise. And it's always the inside that creates the paradise. We're no longer operating in the realms of determining whether paradise exists by looking around us. No longer. We look inside. That's how we know. That's how we know. This is segueing perfectly into the collective here. So let's go ahead and look at the collective. What are the energies of the collective for this week, this current time, for those who are tuned into this transmission and will be tuning into this transmission? I'm seeing so much lush garden. Oh, it's more. It's more. The example that came through last week was coming into abundance by recognizing what we have, by learning to have our own soil fertile. And from there, everything can grow. We're learning how to actually hold the templates of abundance, which is the inherent nature of who we are and the inherent nature of the all that is. Mother Earth is teaching us how to be abundant beings. We are the earth. The earth knows how to be abundant. The earth knows how to replenish. The earth knows how to replenish. We're being taught because we are earth. We're being taught this. I'm also seeing, of course, we're star too, and so is the earth. All of these elements that create all of existence are within all of us, within the earth too. And what a powerful master we have to teach us to ride these waves of ascension. I'm seeing shivers on the earth. I'm curious if that's earthquakes. It's light. I'm just seeing so much light coming into the planet, and she shivers as more light is embodied. She shivers. It's almost like this into her new suit of, it's just the higher frequency. Okay. Yes, of course. So when we're looking through, at the eye doctor, when they go and they change the lens, that's what we're all going through, my loves. When we have the dense frequency lens, we behave in a certain way and we see the world in a certain way. And a lot of times this transition involves forgiving ourselves and forgiving others. In fact, go deep into forgiveness. Forgive yourself. There's only self-forgiveness. It looks like forgiving others, but it's only the self. Go into forgiveness. Forgive the self, because as we learn to change our lens, we will see with sometimes great amounts of shame who we have been, how we've operated with the world. And we can transmute this. I'm getting a really strong picture of the bleeding of Christ, of the suffering for the sins of the world. That was an intense shift in consciousness, transmuting it through the body. It's not going to look like that for us in this current era. But some of you are transmuting deeply within your own family lineages, and you will feel viscerally through your body this transformation, this new divine template. It's not new. It's the divine template that's already existed, but we're coming into consciousness. We're growing that consciousness into this next layer of the template of who we are. And as we do that, we will come into the knowledge more deeply of who we've been and the ways that we've acted and interacted with the world, and forgive the self. Forgive the self. And as we vibrate into those higher frequency templates, there is a sort of, death. In fact, let's talk about the solar flares. Yeah, those are divine pockets of energy. They're gifts. It's a gift of, here's a pocket of energy, a light code. They're little like light code pockets, and it really can. It's almost like a sound bath, but it's a light bath, and it's very similar. It's a frequency. We start to see in frequency and less in terms of this, right? Um, Delineation between those frequencies. They have just a texture. It's a texture of frequency. So these light code packets are sort of like coming to the earth, and we feel them through our system. I'm really seeing the rainbow body. I also feel like my channeling is jumping around, and there are thoughts that are maybe not being finished, and that's okay. This is a sign of the times. There's really a free flow of this light frequency that's coming through. So, higher levels of being able to know ourselves as abundant beings, to hold that frequency. There's a reason that I really wanted to wear green today. Remember that it's the heart chakra, and it's also the green of the earth. In the US, we think of money as green, and that's part of abundance, but that's a poor model of abundance, because funny that I use those words. Money isn't green everywhere. And also, money is our own creation, right? As is all things, but nature is something that we can really see as a master. These beautiful plants with the greenery. Green is the most prevalent color on the earth. It's also the heart, right? It's a vibratory frequency. Tune into that. That is that abundance that we're seeking. That is that abundance that we can become. It's the truth of who we are. Feeling that reverberating through our whole system, knowing ourselves as these beautiful, abundant beings. And that encompasses, and that means all. Wow, there's been a lot that's come through, and it's sort of been in different realms, different topics. Let's see if there's anything else. The image of a warrior is coming up, which is interesting. That's not a paradigm that I really ascribe to. So let's listen what that means. Many of you identify with the term heart warrior. This is a valiant calling. It means to firmly stand in the realms of the heart. Remember that if you feel, okay, I see. If you feel the calling to be a warrior, this is coming into a higher plane of existence. Those of you who have been warriors in past lifetimes. Those of you who understand the calling of the warrior, it is now the calling of the heart warrior. Make the transition. This is a valiant dedication to oneness, to the all, through the heart, through the frequencies of the heart, knowing that there's no war to be had, but it is only that dedication that's being activated. It is the firm dedication to stand up for the righteous of the heart is the words that are coming through. Very interesting. I truly don't generally ascribe to those words. So this is for someone who's listening. Very much so. Ah, breath. Mm. Feeling the calling. Trusting yourselves. Again, I'm seeing our star family coming to visit. Starships. I'm hearing light ships. I haven't ever heard that word before. So light ships, starcrafts of light. So interesting. Watch for them. Watch for us is what I'm hearing. Watch for us. Call us in. Call us in. It is a co-creative process. Call us in. And on that note, I'll go ahead and clear. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to channel. Hi, my loves. Lord of the Rings. Oh, yeah, that's so funny. It reminds me of someone said that my energy was like, I think her name is Galadriel. And that's definitely something that I aspire to, holding that frequency. I was literally going to make the ocean analogy and keep getting stuck in rip currents. Yeah, wow. The nature of reality regarded as a universal truth taught by the Buddha. Beautiful, Stacy. Thank you for that. You're welcome, Higher Octane. Thank you for being here. Oh, Galadriel. That's her name. Yes. Yes. That's definitely something that I aspire to. That does feel like the higher aspect of Allison can embody that. Yes. My beautiful friends, thank you for being here. I hope to see you in the next channeling. I hope to see you in the True Creator community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.